Let's talk about major scales. So in all of music, especially Western music, major scales are very important for a lot of reasons. One of the biggest reasons is you need to understand the major scales, how the major scales are built, and how they function in order to understand music theory. And, is music theory necessary to learn how to play the guitar? No. But there's a lot of other things that go hand in hand with having a little bit of an understanding of music theory that will help a lot with the guitar. Understanding why the shapes are the way they are, understanding chord progressions and things like that are all based off of music theory. You don't have to delve way deep into music theory, but understanding the major scales is pretty important. So major scales are built with a series of whole steps and half steps. And the formula for that, always for a major scale, you have whole step, half step, whole step, whole step, whole step, half step. And on the guitar, a whole step is actually 2 frets. Every fret on a guitar is a half step. So to insert the formula for the major scale, here we have a whole step. So I'm going to start on the C. We'll talk about what the notes are second, but let's just go through the structure of it first. So start on the C. A whole step is 2 frets up. So we have a whole step, another whole step, a half step, a whole step, a whole step, a third whole step, and then a half step that brings you back to where you started, an octave above. So that's the structure of it, but let's look at what notes I'm playing here. So I was actually playing a C major scale. A C major scale is the only major scale that doesn't have any sharps or flats. So we're just going to have the straight letter names all the way through. We're going to have C, D, E, F, G, A, B, back to C. So something that's important to notice here, that will be very important to know as you're learning the guitar, is there is always a half step between, so we have C, D, E, between E and F, there's a half step, and F, G, A, B to C, there's always a half step between B and C. So that's the C major scale, C, D, E, F, G, A, B, C. Now that's just played up off of one string, starting on the 3rd fret of the A, because that's where C is. But you can also play this in open position, and a number of other ways, but let's talk about open position. So we have here, we're going to start on the C. We have C, D, E, F, G, A, B, C. So you see we still have the half step, C, D, E, between the E and the F, G, A, B, and C. We can keep going, C, D, E, F, G, and bring it right back down, G, F, E, D, C, B, A, G, F, E, D, C. Keep going, half step to B, A, G, F, E. So that was C major scale on one string, then C major scale in open position. But a lot of times, I'm sure you've heard of all the different shapes of the major scale. So on the guitar, there are actually 7 different shapes of the major scale. And each shape starts off of a different note. So the first shape starts off of shape 1, starts off of the C rather. So here, shape 1 starts off of the C on the low E string. And we have C, D, E, F, G, A, B, C, and then it keeps going. Shape up would be shape 2, and shape 2 starts off of the second note in the C major scale, which is the D. And the shape for the second shape looks like this. And although we started on the D this time, there were still no sharps and no flats. It was all just the same exact notes as the first shape and all the other shapes we've played so far. So third shape is going to start on the third note in a C major scale, and that is an E. And remember, there's a half step between the E and the F, so it's going to start with a half step. Now moving into shape 4 is going to start on the fourth note of the C major scale, which is an F. And instead of moving up the neck, I'm actually going to move down, because now we have an F down here on the first fret. And we can play shape 4 right off of that F. Shape 4 looks like this. So that was shape 4. Moving on to shape 5. Shape 5 starts off of the fifth note in the key of C, which is C, D, E, F, G. And shape 5 right here on the G. Shape 6, 2 more shapes to go. Shape 6 is off of the A, which is the 6th degree of the C major scale. And the A is right here. Shape 6 is this. And last shape, shape 7, is going to be off of the B. Again, there's a half step between the B and the C, so this one's also going to start with a half step right in the beginning. And here's shape 7. Brings us right back to where we started, shape 1. So I know I went through that fairly quick, but if you look in the description for this video, I will place a link so that you can download some scale sheets, some of the scale sheets I put together, so you can look at and see these major scales on a piece of paper, which is very, very helpful. Now, this is just a quick video to understand what's going on with these scales, understand just about this much of it, enough to get you knowing the key things of the shapes and the fact that there's always a half step between the E and the F and the B and the C. And I'm going to continue on with videos about this. I'm going to make a video about the diatonic chords of the major scale as well. I'll probably do that one very soon. So grab the scale sheet out of the description of this video, and if you have any questions on this stuff, take a look at guitarpro.io. I'm going to be constantly updating guitarpro.io with lots of new information. And if this really eludes you and you want to learn this, I can help you. Just head over to guitarpro.io and fill out a form to talk with me about taking some in-person lessons. So grab the sheet in the comments, get your fingers under these major scales. They're really, really important and also a hell of a lot of fun to play.